Zaire to start versus Tigers. Philip Franks has started 6 of Florida's 7 games this season, but interim coach Randy Shannon is ready to make a change. After announcing an open quarterback competition Monday, Shannon said the Gators will start graduate transfer quarterback Malik Zaire on Saturday against the Tigers. Zaire, who entered Florida's 42-7 loss to Georgia in relief of Franks, completed just 3 of 6 passes for 36 yards against the Bulldogs, but Franks wasn't any better. "We're rotating guys. Malik will take a period at once, and then the next time we go to another period Philip will take one," Shannon said of the quarterback competition in practice. "You see those guys compete, talking and communicating. The best thing about it is when you compete every day it brings the best out of you." Zaire will be the third off quarterback to start a game this season, marking the second time in 5 years that the Gators have started 3 quarterbacks in a lone season. Florida looking for ways to stretch field. When Zaire makes his first start at quarterback this season, he'll have a full arsenal of weapons at his disposal. Sophomore wide receiver Terry Cleveland, Florida's biggest threat downfield, is fully healed from the ankle injury that's kept him out for nearly a month, interim coach Randy Shannon said Wednesday. Shannon added the Gators will look to stretch the field against Missouri's pass defense, which enters the contest ranked second to last in the second defending the pass. "He's bouncing around, didn't miss a rep in practice yesterday. We're excited to have him back because we have a chance for us to throw some balls downfield and see if we can make some plays," Shannon said. "We have to make sure there are devised things that we get the ball in those guys' hands, run the ball, and take some shots downtown with Terry because he's 100% healthy. We're excited about that." Shannon looking to join good company. Randy Shannon is more than a decade removed from when he began his head coaching tenure at Miami, and now he faces another tall task, turning around Florida's 2017 season. Shannon is Florida's 5th interim head coach since 1984, and he's looking to continue the trend of success under interim head coaches. The Gators have a 12-5 record under interim head coaches, but Shannon will be the first interim head coach since Gary Darnell in 1989 to coach Florida in a regular season contest when the Gators take the field Saturday. Perrine Thompson to carry load. Malik Davis suffered a brutal season-ending injury early in Florida's 42-7 loss to Georgia, ending a freshman season that was on pace to set several freshman rushing records. Now, the Gators will seek to push their streak of more than 165 rushing yards to 7 consecutive games without their freshman standout in the backfield. Fortunately for Florida, sophomore running back Lamical Perrine has been a workhorse himself this season. After having just a lone touchdown as a freshman, Perrine has 6 touchdowns on the ground this season, and he's on pace to top his rushing total from his debut season in Gainesville. The Gators will look to Perrine and backup Mark Thompson to expose a Missouri defense that has allowed opponents on average 192.4 rushing yards per game this season. Out of their league. Quarterback Drew Lock and the Missouri offense have piled up some huge scores and numbers this season, but they are somewhat deceiving. What the Tigers have produced against SEC teams is much less than what they've done against a weak non-conference schedule. So, let's break it down to get a better idea what the Florida defense is really up against today. Against 4 non-conference opponents, the Tigers have averaged 564.7 total yards and 384.5 passing yards a game. But against 4 SEC foes, South Carolina, Auburn, Kentucky and Georgia, the Tigers have averaged only 410.7 total yards and 237.0 passing yards. And there's a big discrepancy in points. Missouri has averaged 48.7 points in non-conference games and only 22.2 in SEC games. And against their only decent non-conference foe, Purdue, the Tigers were held to 3 points in a 35-3 loss in Columbia. So, while the overall numbers are pretty intimidating, this offense isn't nearly as potent as it looks on the overall stat sheet. The numbers, however, certainly have the Gators' attention. As usual, Tigers strong up front. While the Missouri offense has been shorting out the scoreboard lights, it's been a season-long struggle for the Tigers on defense. They simply haven't been able to stop anybody other than an impotent Yukon offense that managed to score only 12 points a week ago. The critical question is, are the Gators capable enough on offense to take advantage of a defense has been having weekly meltdowns? Over the past several seasons, Florida's lack of offense has helped make several poor defenses feel pretty good about themselves. To have any chance to take advantage of the porous Tigers, the up front is going to have to contain a Mizzou front that is playing close to the high standards of recent Tiger defensive lines that have sent multiple players to the NFL. Nose tackle Terry Beckner Jr. and end Marcel Frazier are disruptive and can be dominant at times. If the Gators can't prevent them from making big plays and sacks, it will be another long day for the staggering offense. From Cane to Gator. For most of his football life, the Gators have been his enemy. Now, through a set of unforeseen circumstances, Randy Shannon finds himself leading the Florida program as the interim head coach. It may seem an odd fit to some in South Florida, but Shannon is comfortable with it. "It doesn't change me. It's football, you coach and you're having fun," he said. "I've had a lot of people from South Florida reach out to me that were good friends of mine, lot of University of Miami friends, a lot of Florida State alumnus. Me being at the University of Florida, when I first got here, it was the welcoming and family atmosphere that was positive about it, and still is. They want the best that they can get, and you have to accept the challenge to give them what they want. And that's just the challenge of everything."